All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rahahak, with double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Well, peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom, Barakathum. And this is going to be a lesson, a dive into Ham, okay, the son of Noah who came off the ark, and just a little bit of background and history on the original F.A.N, okay? Because Ham was known, well, he was a freak, and all kind of wickedness came out of his lineage, okay? And a lot of what's worshipped today came out of his seed, including things that our people were into heavily, as you'll see the lineage if you know the genealogy of Noah down to Jacob, or get a sense of it. You'll know that it's basically broken into the three sons. We'll read it here. Let's see. It's written many times. Genesis 9 and 18, it says, "And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem, and Ham, and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan. These are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread." Okay. Now, the account that I want to get to show you, all right, why the Lord told us and why the Lord chose who he chose out of this lineage. And he told us and instructed us to stay away, okay, from particular nations. He told Esau to stay away from particular nations. And he didn't listen, neither did Jake, okay? But it says in Genesis chapter 9, verse 20, it says, "And Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard. And he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren without." So right here you have an establishment of a perverseness going on. Okay? That's why the Lord uses that that analogy in Isaiah the 14th chapter. I'll go to it real quick. Or the Isaiah the 19th chapter, which speaks parabolically about Egypt. Okay? Verse Isaiah 19 and 14, "The Lord Yahweh hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his own vomit." Because it's basically Egypt playing itself all over again. They were into a lot of weird freakism stuff, man. You know, and there's a reason that spirit of this back into the earth now, because this place is taking on the spirit of Egypt. You know. And that perverse spirit, which is, this is talking about this Egypt in America here, okay, as a prophecy, but it was true for the original Egyptians, man, you know. And so we'll go back. I'll try to explain this bit by bit here. This is Genesis, the 9th chapter, okay, verse 22 again. "And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren without." So the Canaanites are of the lineage of Ham, okay? When people try to tell you that what was it, those conscious niggas was trying to tell that the Canaanites were Israelites. No, they were not, man. They were distinct lineages of people who shared a common language. Okay, you read that in Genesis the 19th chapter as well. Okay, the language of Canaan, which is the Hebrew. Okay, that was our link, but we were not the same people. Okay, they were pigmented, dark-skinned people. Okay, but we were not them. Okay, as the scriptures say, as a matter of fact, I think I have it here. Exodus 11 and 7, "But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue, against man or beast, that ye may know how the Lord that ye may know how that the Lord Yahweh doeth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. Okay. Now they're speaking to about the Egyptians, but it's the same for any nation. All right, because we lived among these people. All right, and it says in Shem and Ham, Salakia, verse 23. Um, and Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. So they had enough common sense. Even Japheth, his simple ass, had enough common sense not to be a weirdo freak, man. You know, some tall, black, lanky nigga, coming in your tent with bug eyes, staring at you, man. And it's your own goddamn son. He's a weirdo, man. And it says, and Shem and Ham took, Salaki, I keep saying Ham. It says, and Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both the shoulders and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. So they show what? This is an act of integrity right here. Okay? And as you'll see as we go down, verse 24, and Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. So he cursed his grandson, okay? For all you Christians that say you can't use curse words, well, Noah literally cursed the whole lineage of Canaan, because he was a little demon as well, man. As you'll see, okay? And so you're gonna see as we read on here why the Lord told us to stay away from these people, man. It says, actually, I was gonna get that in the NLT. Genesis 9:25. Then he cursed Canaan, the son of Ham. May Canaan be cursed. May he be the lowest of the servants to his relatives. Okay. Then Noah said, may the Lord, Yahweh, the God of Shem, be blessed, and may Canaan be his servant. And may the Most High expand the territory of Japheth, and may Japheth share the prosperity of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. So he got demoted, man, right there on the spot. The Canaanites got a straight up a spiritual demotion to be a servant, man. Okay, this is why, okay, you've seen the Canaanites and the so-called land of Canaan, but that was really our land, okay? They were supposed to be our servants in that land. Everywhere you saw a Canaanite, almost like the inverse of a Levite, everywhere you saw a Canaanite, he was a low-class servant. That was what was supposed to be going on. But what happened? We got in captivity ourselves in Egypt, and when we came out, they had all of these cities raised up with all kind of idolatry going on. Okay, and instead of them being our servants, okay, they ended they ended up being a major stumbling block. To the point the Lord just said, don't deal with them at all, man. Burn everything they got. Don't deal with them. Okay. So this is the origin of it. Okay. Now a lot of Christians will kind of try to go in and say, well, they went in and took land that didn't belong to them. No, they did not. Absolutely false. Okay. As a matter of fact, let me go to, I believe it's Genesis the 15th chapter. Okay. Let me get this in the KJV real quick. Let's see here. Yep, this is Genesis 15 and 17. It says, and it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. In the same day the Lord Yahweh made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land. Okay? This is important. From the river of Egypt unto the great river, okay, the river Euphrates. So that means, I'm going to pull this up on a map, okay? That means the land that the Lord told Abraham he could have was from basically, you see Iraq is off the river of Euphrates, from here all the way over into Egypt, okay? So that whole lineage went down to the lineage of Shem, okay? From that was Shem's inheritance, man, okay? All the way down to Abraham, okay? So when Isaac got that blessing, he passed that down to who? To Jacob, all right? And so that's how we were supposed to be ruling all of the Shemitic nations with Canaan as a servant, you know, not the land of Canaan, okay? We didn't go in and take nothing that wasn't our. The Most High gave us that. That was a promise, okay? That was passed down. That was an inheritance, okay? And I wanted to show you who the Hamites are today, okay? Because most people, okay, when you read about the descendants of Egypt, which is Mizraim, as a matter of fact, let me find him real quick. Okay. Table of Nations, Genesis 10:6, and the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, which is the name of the patriarch that later became renamed Egypt. Okay. It says, and Put and Canaan. Okay. And this is the lineage of Ham that did that, put up the most wickedness in the earth, man. Okay. His son Cush became a demon. Who was his son? Nimrod. You know he was a straight demon, okay. All of the idolatry came out of Mizraim. The only quiet one really is Put, you know, which is there's not a ton of information on them, you know, and we all know the story of Canaan. Okay, so this is the lineage that you're dealing with from the inception of their weird ass father. All right, you can see why all of that weirdo freakism came out, and all of these religions that came out of Cush when the Most High confounded the Tower of Babel. All of those different nations speaking them different languages, they all picked up some weird variations of that pantheon of gods. Okay, what's a pantheon? A group of particularly respected, famous, or important people, all the gods of a people or religion collectively. And every so-called religion or empire, they're gonna have a pantheon. Okay, why do they all have pantheons and they worship many gods? And we were the outcasts worshiping one god because they all came from the same set of demons. Okay, and Ham really led the charge on all of this, man. You know, Japhet was simple. They have their gods, but these Hamitic gods, man, are a major stumbling block on everybody. Okay, Esau picked it up. All right, there's a variation of it in Assyria, you know, in the Hindu religion, you know, all over. Anyway, the original Hamites, okay, Mizraim, which were Hamites, as we just uh, uncovered, lived in this region of Egypt. And to give you an idea of what they look like, they would be the South Sudan people now. Okay, because you have to remember that Egypt was conquered many times. As a matter of fact, I went into the AI thing to ask it some questions on the matter, and it had some pretty decent responses. here. Okay, now some of the stuff it goes off. I asked to give me a picture of Ham. It was a it was an Edomite. So you know you chew the meat and spit out the bones, but you know history is important to go into sometimes. You know, this is what did I ask it? I said, did the original Egyptians flee south to South Sudan region? The idea that ancient Egyptians fled southward to regions like modern day South Sudan is a hypothesis that arises from historical migrations and socio-political shifts in the region because they did move there. You know, now it's going to cast doubt on it because it wants you to believe those Arabs there have just been there for 3,000, 4,000 years, and that's just not the case. All right, look at this. Ancient Egypt and the Nubian connection. Ancient Egypt had close ties with Nubia, located south of Egypt in what is now northern Sudan and southern Egypt. Okay? Nubians and Egyptians shared cultural exchanges, trade, and periods of political domination. All right? It says it's known that some Egyptian populations moved southward into Nubia during times of conflict, during the Persian, Greek, and Roman conquest of Egypt. So this is why there's no more Hamites there, okay? You know, or not many of them, because they fled when all these different empires came in. They all fled down the Nile to the South Sudan, man. That's where they relocated, okay? And Egypt fell off and never came back online again. It's just since, you know, really since we left, really, you know. So there was some other ones I'd asked it. Yeah. So I wanted to make the point that the people, okay, what they look like. Let me see the sons of Mizraim. Where is it? And Mizraim begat Ludam and Anim and Lehabim and Naphtuhim and Pathrusim and Calcihim, out of whom came Philistine. Okay, those were where the Philistines came out of. It's where the word Palestine means, is basically Philistine. It's the same word. Okay, and these were very, very tall people. Almost anybody you see with the name ending with this I am from a Hamitic lineage, they're going to be tall as hell. Okay, all right. As it says, I believe it was the Anakim. Or the sons of Anak is how it would put it. Okay, and they were descending out of them. Okay. This is Numbers 13 and 33, and there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. So this is another lineage. Okay, look, Deuteronomy 9 and 2, a people great and tall, the children of Anakims, okay, whom thou knowest, and of whom thou hast heard say, who can stand before the children of Anak. Okay, so because these were descendants of Mizraim. Okay, and why am I making that point? To prove where these people are today. Look at this video.
Until today, I always thought that the world's tallest people were in Holland and Latvia. And then I came to the country of South Sudan, and I can't even touch the top of their heads.
South Sudan, as you can see, is a land of the tall and dark. That's the first thing you're gonna see when you first come to South Sudan.
And everybody that has a brain will tell you the so-called Egyptians were dark-skinned people, man. Okay, everybody thinks that all of northern Africa was just light-skinned forever. No, that's ruled by caliphates, man. Okay, let me look up who the caliphates were in the Middle Ages. so-called Middle East. Okay, look at all these different Arabics came in, and they did uh, conquer a lot of regions where Jake were during this time as well. And we took on that Muslim identity, but these were so-called Arabs, man. Okay, look at the regions that they took over. Salakia. You see, all these represent different caliphates of Islam. Okay, this is how that region became so light skinned. All right, for you to think that after all these nations that ruled it, that that they just looked the same the entire time, that's ridiculous. Okay, everybody has exchanged uh, that land, the Levant. The Assyrians ruled it. Okay, the Babylonians ruled it, the Persians ruled it, the Greeks, the Romans ruled it. You know, so that's a fallacy of who they are. Look at these people.
And I love it. I love my height, and being here makes me love it and makes me embrace who I am and how tall I am.
So your friends and family the same height as you, the girls?
I'm actually short, believe me, but my brothers are way taller than me.
Okay, so just for reference, you filming? She's the shortest one, and look at this. Like, you're like 5 inches taller than me. I'm the tallest one in my family.
No!
Yeah. The majority of the country's 13 million people belong to the Dinka tribe, who inhabit the banks of the Nile and have some of the most stunning physical features you'll ever see. They're extremely slim and tall, almost all of them, with both men and women averaging well over 6 feet tall.
Okay, so these these are the sons of Ham. Okay, these are goddamn Egyptians. Some of them are Jakes mixed in there because we're everywhere. Okay, but you see what's going
Like
on.
I'm an NBA locker room right now. My neck hurts from looking up at the sky all day long. I'm 5'7", so you're almost 2 feet taller than me.
Yeah, I'm 225 centimeters.
225 centimeters tall. What's it like being so tall?
Well, it's advantageous, especially when there's a crowd. You don't bother.
Awesome. And how old are you?
Just how could they be Israelites, man? You black only. Yeah, what a bunch of losers, man. Goodness gracious. Look at this nigga tie on, man. Goodness. All right. So you see the point. you know that's where we got the city from Hebron. From the tall ass Hamites that was there, where it wasn't supposed to be there, man. All right, you just saw what we read, where the inheritance went. So that's what it is. Okay. Now, I'm gonna go back to Genesis 9 real quick. Okay. Just to highlight this point, then I'll close it out. This is let's see. Yep, Genesis 9:25 again, and he said, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren." All right, now you have to ask, why did he get cursed? Because it was prophetic that he was going to be marked, okay, to be a wicked demon in the earth. All right. What is that? Deuteronomy. I can't remember where it is. I think it's Deuteronomy 30 or Deuteronomy 7. Let me see. Let me just check it. Salakia. Yeah, Deuteronomy 7:1. Okay, because it's prophetic that they were cursed, and because they were to be an example of of what not to do. They were the wickedest tribe outside of the Edomites, pretty much. Okay, and Esau took a lot from these people. But this is Deuteronomy 7:1. It says, "And when the Lord Yahweh thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou." All right. It says, "And when the Lord Yahweh thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them, and thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them." Okay, and you be like, damn, why is the Lord going? Because it's all set up through the Spirit. Okay, that there's a reason why the Lord tells us to not do certain things. Because you love your woman, you're gonna tell her not to go to certain neighborhoods. You're gonna tell her to be at home at a certain time. You know, you look out for her. All right, and this is what the Lord was doing because He knew His creation. Okay, this says, "Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter shalt thou not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son." So this is a hard line the Lord put that we weren't even to marry them, man. Now you can have concubines as wives, but we were not to deal with the Canaanites, you know, and you can see why Canaan turned out to be to be this way, because we can read it here in Wisdom of Solomon, 12th chapter, okay, which highlights, which we should know. You can look up the Canaanites and all the things that they were into, you know. Oh, there was another point I wanted to make. I'm all over the place. Yeah, I meant to highlight that that the Cushite kingdoms, when Nimrod took over, a lot of those kingdoms end up falling to the Egyptian empire, So the basically Cush in Egypt was fighting as well too, you know. So there was a lot of nonsense going on. As a matter of fact, Cush was ruling Egypt when the Assyrians came in, you know. So there's a lot of history of back and forth going there that leads into the context of what was going on with us when we were there, because when we were in captivity in Egypt, that's basically when the Cushite kingdoms were going down. Nimrod's kingdoms were going down. Anyway, going back to the point, this is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12. All right, and it says, verse 1, "For thine incorruptible spirit is in all things, therefore chasteneth thou them little by little. Chasteneth thou them by little and little that offend, and warnest them by putting them in remembrance wherein they have offended, that leaving their wickedness they may believe on thee, O power." It says, "For it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land." Now this is referencing the Canaanites that were infamously in our land all over, with all of these cities, all right, raised up doing wickedness. All right, it says, "For it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcraft and wicked sacrifices." Okay, so now it all comes out. And who did they worship? Who were the Canaanites known for worshiping? Let me ask this thing. I always spell that wrong. Okay, there's a deity called El, and you'll see that around the Book of Kings and Baal. Okay, but Baal was basically the same, the chief deity. Okay, that Jake got into, man. All right, you got Asherah. Okay, different gods that King Solomon were into as well with all of his women, you know. But Baal is who you see the most throughout the scriptures. Okay, that was their god, and it led to wicked demonic practices, man. Okay, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 4 again. It says, "Whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices, and all those merciless murderers of children, and devourers of man's flesh, and the feasts of blood." Okay, so this is what they were doing in the land. This is why the Lord was so harsh against them, and this is why they were cursed, from the beginning, you know. And it goes all the way back to his father Ham. Okay, that freak ass spirit came out, and Noah being locked into the spirit cursed his ass, man. You know. I was gonna ask this thing. Baal, the storm and fertility god. I asked it, what kind of sacrifices did Baal accept? Okay, it was the storm and fertility god in the Canaanite region. Bull, sheep, goat, the most frequent. Let's see if it's gonna snitch. But you can probably look it up. This AI thing is a work in progress. Oh, there it is. And see, it references the Bible. You see that? Because it knows the scriptures are going to tell you what was really going on. Okay? Burning their sons as offerings to Baal, as Jeremiah 19:8. Jake was still all into that, man. You know? And this is why we're going to rule over all of these heathen. Okay? Wicked ass niggas. Passing their sons and daughters through the fire. This is where the god Molech came out of. All of this came out of the freak of the three sons of Noah. You see? Yeah, you can look this up on your own time. Anyway, Lord willing, this was edifying. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rachakodah Shalom. Kwam Yasharala. Shalom.